Hello, my very dear Capricorns. This is your reading for the week of June 1st, or when you hear it and it resonates, and of course it will not be for every Capricorn. So Capricorn, as I started working with your energy, what I began seeing was you taking very delicate beads of turquoise on fine silver thread, and you're weaving something, or you're creating something with this. You're stringing these beads. And what I'm seeing, it's like a dreamscape when you do this sometimes, where it's this and it's that, and it can't be both at the same time. So what I'm seeing is you doing this beautiful threading of these turquoise beads. Then I'm seeing it already done as though it's a collar. It's like the kind of necklaces that you would see, the broad collar necklaces that you would see, that very many indigenous people would wear. And specifically, I tend to think of it in terms of Egypt. I don't know if that's relevant for any of you, but the quality of this that's important for me is that it's turquoise, and turquoise is very much a stone that has spiritual qualities of cleansing, of protection, of insight, of communication. It's really very much about, well, it's a it's a water element gem. So it has to deal with emotion, and it has to deal with cleansing and purifying and all of that kind of stuff. But it also has components that are preventing effects of negative energy around you. They are things, because for me, when I see it around the collarbone like this, you're really at that beautiful transition point where you definitely have air. You've also got water, and you've got ether, you've got throat, which is really about the throat chakra related to the ether element, is very much connected to that transition that connects the heart and the mind. But also, as an ether element, what it does is it works very much with your communication of your true self, of your deeper self. And it's really interesting because the first card that comes up is faith for you. Now, why is it important that it's a collar? That's the other thing that comes in. I looked it up and it was okay. Well, it's not always in Egypt. It was not specifically for royal people. Many people would wear them. But in this case, what it feels to me as though it is almost like a statement of your worth. A statement not just of your worth, but of you accepting your place as somebody who is worthy of wearing this beautiful necklace. Now we're going to flip back to the first image, which was you beading, stringing the beads. And what I'm seeing is, okay, so it's beautiful, very linear. You've got everything that you need there with anything else you're putting in. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, maybe I'll do this. Ooh. And so now all of a sudden the pattern changes. And that's what's important, is part of what is making this more of a statement of change and growth is the fact that some of the patterns are changing. Now, the faith card in this pack, it really talks about the fact that faith is a process. It's a creative evolution, and it's something that we develop as we turn inward, as we develop self-awareness and really begin understanding the nature of our own spirit. And so you've got that card as like your first key card. And that really, to me, goes along with the sense that I got when I was looking at this necklace, which was that it's very much about you, again, having that sense of belonging in this place. And I will venture to say courageous, because you've also got the protection here. So protection, growth, change, cleansing. And again, the cleansing, the changing of patterns, that seems important. And then you get the experimentation card, which is just change things up. Dare to throw yourself your own curveball just to see how things evolve for you. Now, you've also got the choose kind. And I say that it's interesting because as I was speaking with Spirit and moving through some of the energy before I actually started the cards, I was shuffling them saying, Capricorn, I feel like I want to be kind with you today. And the card that fell out of the deck was choose kind. So I'm thinking for you, this is also relevant because you've got choose kind and use your senses. So use your senses is really very much stay in your body. Be aware of what your physical senses are offering you in terms of information, not just about your external world, but about what's going on inside, about what's relevant to you. And sometimes it takes experimenting, changing things, just changing basic habits, excuse me, in order to kind of break the energetic routine that we've been in, the spell that we've been in, the things when behavior becomes really habitual, even if it's originally very dynamic or, really oriented towards change in the positive, if it becomes too habitual, you can become complacent with it, and it can cease to have that kind of awakening charge. It can just become a comfort zone sometimes. And while sometimes that's really wonderful, sometimes we need to shake things up and change things a little bit, just kind of wake us up to see if we have been too complacent, if there are changes that we might benefit from making in our lives. So use your senses, okay? It's also, when you tune into your senses, you're very much in an earthy, watery quality. That's really where you notice them. Those are the energies that support your physical senses in a very concrete kind of way, in a more definite kind of way. And so when you do that, it brings you into present time and it grounds you. When you are working with your physical senses specifically, it brings you into present time and it grounds you. So I feel, dear Capricorn, earth sign that you are, it's really relevant for you to stay grounded. But I think one of the reasons why you're getting the turquoise, it's exclusively turquoise that I'm seeing in this necklace, is because it is water. And water, my loves, is this. Water is cleansing for sure, but water is also connection to the moon, to the unconscious. It's emotion. And if we look at the elements as they exist in nature around us, we see exactly the same kind of effect that a balance or imbalance of these energies in our bodies can cause. And what we know is, if we look at water and there's too little of it, the earth can become too dry and not be able to grow things. It can just turn to dust and blow away. On the other hand, if there's too much water, then, too much water, that can create mud and mudslides and muck, and just, be just equally as destructive or equally disinclined to support life. So what you're getting here for me is pay attention to your emotions. If you're dealing with something physical, pay attention to whatever kind of intervention might be supportive in helping your body become cleaner and therefore more functional and more comfortable. And, many different things can help with that, which of course I can't discuss too much because I'm not allowed. But you can do that. You can research that. Cleansings, all different kinds of cleansings, and you can always ask a doctor for help on that. It might simply be changing your diet and cutting out junk food. It might be doing other things to actually help your body cleanse, to flush it out. Many different possibilities. But please check into that if you're dealing with issues physically. That might be something to consider. But from an emotional perspective, and I feel it's important, especially because it's right here, is that this is really something about you leaving something, moving out of old thoughts, negativity, patterns that don't help you, and moving into something where you are now, through the exploration of your self and your faith, coming into that sense of discovery of yourself as a much more elevated than you ever thought yourself to be. Much more spiritual, perhaps, than you have really ever identified. This is really a time where you can really consciously work with the energy to help open you up to healthy emotions, to deeper emotional states, but profound ones, and as opposed to erratic ones where you're able to really become familiar with the nuances of emotions that maybe you have not yet really lived, and that's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to leave you with that, Capricorn. I feel like this is an opportunity and a time for you where, remember, you're beating this necklace yourself, so you're doing it for you. You have the capacity to do this for yourself. And it's really all about you deciding, again, in that kindness towards yourself, because you can be kind of tough on yourself sometimes. Kindness towards yourself too, okay? I'm going to leave you with that, Capricorn. Much love. Take care.